Okay, so we're back at the job where the travertine floor that we tore out was a big travertine floor that I did 11 years ago. If you want to check out the video on that, click the link that I put up right here. But what we have here is we got it all torn out. We got a layer of red guard down. We want crack isolation when we're doing especially outdoor work on a patio. I highly recommend some sort of crack isolation. Do not go directly over the concrete because of freeze thaw and expansion and contraction. So we got the red guard down yesterday. Guys did a great job. So I want to show how we do a little bit different method that I've never covered before. I've seen this method used a lot in Southern California, and I used this method when I originally set this floor. So what we have here, we do not have a flat area to set, which is a little unique. Most tile floors, you go in and everything's flat, and so you can use level as a reference. This is basically almost like one big shower pan. We got a drain in the middle. Everything is sloping down because we got rain and everything has to drain right or you'll end up with puddles. Also, we have a drain that was set up an inch higher. That's a good inch, isn't it, Kurt?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an inch plus. It's almost like an inch and a quarter. So we need to be at the top of that. Obviously, we can't have our tile down below the top of the drain and it's not adjustable. So I'm going to go over a little bit of a method that uses a combination of thinset and deck mud as we go. And if you want to know what deck mud is, I'll put the link up for this, but I got a ton of videos on deck mud. We use it all the time for shower pans, floors, and whatnot. But this is a little bit different, and actually Kirk has never done it this way, so this is kind of cool to be shown Kirk, who's been doing tile. How long have you been doing tile?
31 years.
31 years doing tile. So he knows a thing or two about it, and especially the Northern California methods that we use. So I'm gonna show Kirk how to do this, and so you can see it and maybe learn something for yourself. So first thing we're gonna do is put down a slurry of thinset mortar. So Kirk, go ahead and get a little slurry going. So what this slurry does, this slurry is gonna bond the deck mud down to the floor. You don't want to ever just put deck mud right down on something unless you've got paper and wire and it has to be 1.5 inches thick. If you want to use deck mud thinner, then I would say 3/4 max. You got to bond it to the substrate. So we got a concrete floor. So Kirk's putting a bonding tape basically for the deck mud to stick down. So we already have our line snap too. We got our layout where we wanted. We want to center everything in the drain. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use deck mud to build up, since we have to build up so high. So go ahead and just, get the piles of deck mud going. So good, we got 1 bucket of deck mud. And what I like to use these little rakes. This is actually a little kid's rake. And I just use the rake to get the mud about where we're gonna need it.
So cool.
Yeah. So as you can see, if you were trying to build this up with thinset, it would be just way too much. And even LHT mortars have their limitations on how thick you can build them up. I think 3/4 is the maximum. Okay, so we got our deck mud just spread out about to where we want it. We got a nice little bed. So what we're going to do is actually put the tile down where it's going to go. So we're setting the tile just to kind of get our level. So Kirk, make sure we got slope going. So we got slope going into the drain.
We're happy with that, yes?
We're happy with that. It looks like we're a little low because we're just now flush. We're about the height where we want to be. And we're level going that way, which is nice. So go ahead and pull that tile, Kirk. So now we can see where we need more mud. See, there's a void there. And what's really nice with this method is we're going to end up with 100% coverage, which is extremely important when doing outdoor tiles or in any wet area.
I have a question. We want to pat this down a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, we want to pack it down. Okay. So we need a little more mud.
Or like a 1/4 inch of mud.
Mm-hmm. So the first one, we didn't quite know how much mud we were going to need. But where's that little handwritten, Kirk? Can I see the
What are you
little
looking for?
handwritten?
The little one?
Yeah. Yeah, we can just kind of comb this out a little bit. And the first one's a little different because we're trying to stay on our lines too. So once we get out in the field, it's a little bit easier because we can run out farther than it, but we got to watch our lines on this one. So on the edges, making sure we're building up. Okay, Kurt, go ahead and you should be able to tamp down again. Okay, so now we're a little higher. We're a good 3/16 eighth inch higher. We got good slope on it, so go ahead and start tamping down. See how that tamped down? And the thing is too is we're actually gonna back butter the tile. So again, we gotta. How about a margin trowel? Do we got?
So then the next one we can pack it as we go because we want to be able to get thin set next to that mud too.
Yep. So I'm gonna take.
Okay.
Do this.
Okay.
Packing in the edges, and this way I'm gonna be able to see our chalk line again. But you can see how that would be impossible to build up with thinset. It's just not doable. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Go ahead.
We're gonna need more mud anyway, right?
Yeah, we'll get another batch going here pretty quick. So yeah, we're just packing the deck mud in. So we'll check again. Let's check our level again. So I think I want to be level going this way, which we are.
Wow, nice.
Right there, and then we definitely need some slope going down.
Do you want that much?
I think we want a little bit less than that. So I'm just going to tamp down.
So how about the bubble on the line? Bubble on the line?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit past. So
That's perfect.
I'll show you the slope we got here. That's about the slope we want.
Pat down a little bit more there, but we can pat down after we thin set.
Yeah. So here's the thing too. So now what we're gonna do, go ahead and pull the tile, Kirk. So I like to make sure we don't have too many voids. We're a little bit light right here, which is easy, just to fill that in a little bit. But you can see how good the coverage is with this. And as Kurt goes, he's gonna get a feel for how the deck mud packs down, where he's gonna need to put a little bit more. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a bond coat on the back. So you can either do a thick skim, it's just a bonding coat to bond, or you can do maybe a thin notch on there.
They can tilt the notch down.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so now we're gonna just plop that right down. And we should be good. Level this way. And we need to come down just a little bit right here. But it's easy, we're just packing that deck mud down, which is actually making it stronger. Good.
Look at that. Very nice.
And then you can still adjust. If you need to adjust a little bit, you can still adjust your tiles. So we got the first one down. We're perfectly on our line right here.
Looks pretty good.
Looks great. So let's get we'll get another batch of deck mud mixed up and keep going. Okay, so we got the first tile down. It's looking great, exactly where we want it. One thing I also want to talk about is the cost difference between using deck mud as opposed to trying to build up with thinset. So deck mud goes for about $5 a bag here, and thinset, this Mortar LHT, I don't even know what it costs, but it's probably around $20 a bag. So you're saving a considerable amount by using deck mud to level things out. Also compared to like an SLU, a self-leveling mortar, those are even more expensive. You're paying like $30 to $40 a bag for self-leveling underlayment, where if you're using deck mud, that's $5 a bag. So we got the first one, so we're just gonna continue working around. If we needed to pull one of these tiles up that's already down, if we pulled that up, it would just separate at the deck mud. And since it's fresh, you could put it right back down and it's gonna bond together. The wet deck mud will bond with the wet deck mud. So you don't have to worry about not pulling a tile while it's still wet. You can pull it right back up if you need to add a little bit or take a little off, plop it right back down and it'll be fine. Okay, we were a little high on this end right here, so Kirk's gonna pull this tile and I'm gonna show you what I mean. Go ahead and flip that over, Kirk. So it just separates at the deck mud. So we can still take a little bit of mud out, and when we plop it back down and tamp it back in, that deck mud is gonna bond with that deck mud just fine. There's no problem with doing this.
I have that flat trowel, Johnny, please.
So what he did is he just raked up a little bit of the surface. Now he's using his flat trowel. And he's gonna screed just a little bit of mud off. We're about an 1/8 inch high. So he's gonna take off that. That should be perfect. When he tamps that back down, we should be exactly where we need to be.
That's outstanding to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you tried to do this, yeah, if you tried to do that with thinset, this would be a complete nightmare. It would be so messy. Okay, so you can see we got our 8-foot edge on our chalk line. So we have it lined up and we're making sure we're staying straight on that line. And this is really important. We have to start square here so that everything that flows off of it is gonna stay square. Okay, so we're gonna continue on with this floor. I'll be sure to update you on the finished product so you guys can see it. Please hire an apprentice if you can. And if you are looking to get into the trade, start networking with other contractors and learn from somebody who has some skills and experience that can benefit you. So it's a two-way street, right? We need good leaders, good tile setters to train the apprentices. We need good apprentices who are hungry, willing, and able to learn to help out the tile setters. The tile trade, you can make a lot of money, you can make a lot of people happy, and it's a great living. Make sure to watch that next video coming up. I'm sure you're gonna like it, especially if you liked this one. Click like and subscribe. That helps our videos and our channel grow. And last but not least, guys, I love you, and I love being your tile coach, and we'll see you on the next video.